Good morning. Welcome to Green Team and TCBarter show where we talk on crypto and bartering every day. So today in the past 24 hours, the crypto is up a little bit, but for the last 1 hour and previous few hours, it's been going down. We saw Bitcoin, back on $90,000. And if I share my screen and if we go on CoinGecko, so we can see Bitcoin is back on $90,000 today, but it's down 1% for the last hour. But still for the week, it's up 3.7%. Ethereum is also up 2% for the 24 hours, but for the week, it's still down 5%. And also it's, going down for the last 1 hour. It's down 1.8%. And if we see the rest of other markets, for the 24 hours, almost everything is up, but for the last 1 hour, some things are up and some things are going down. And if I go on PulseChain market, let me pull up the DEX screener. Yeah, we can see PulseChain itself is up a little bit. PulseX is down. It was up yesterday, but today it's down a little bit. And if we see HEX, it's up 2% in the last 24 hours. But for the previous few hours, it's down for the 6 hour, it's down 3.8%. And if we see other tokens, some things are green and most things are red for the previous few hours. And if we go and see our watch list, which has ETHTC token, our green steam token, it's up a little bit for the 24 hours, but for the 6 hours, it's also following the market and it's down almost 3%. But for the last 5 minutes, we can see a little bit green candles. So ETHTC is a green steam token. What green team is it's a group of people who buy their tribe token by whenever they see down and help it, by buying and making it up at least 2% average for the day. And if I slide down a little bit, we can see the marketplaces and websites where you can spend your cryptocurrency, your ETHTC token directly. Here we can see if I click on ETHTC directory links, so we can see a lot of websites and marketplaces where you can spend your ETHTC or cryptocurrency directly without even selling. So if I click on tctrademarket.com, that's the other marketplace. You can place your ad and you can see there they have real estate for trade, cars, vacation rentals, almost everything that you want to get, services or goods. If I go back and see other websites, we have ETHTC vacations, tctrademarket.com, and also they have their websites, their Telegram, and their Twitter listed here. Here's a little information you can read about this token. And if we see the chart, here we can see a little red candle, but if we see the overall chart from the December 2024, even market had a big dumps and it was down for the previous 2-3 weeks. So the ETHTC chart is still going up. We can see the green candles. So what 2% philosophy is, if I pull the chart, so here is our green steam 2% philosophy. If you put any amount that you can afford, let's say if you put $800 in a token that does averages 2% every day, after 37 days, it's gonna be $1,600. And if it does the same for the 6 months, it's gonna be $27,000. And if it does the same for the year, it's gonna be $1 million. But there is, no guarantee because crypto is very volatile. We saw, ETHTC was also down 20% in a day, and right after that, with the help of green team, it was up more than 100%. It was up, I think, 150%. So today we can see the market is, I would say on sideways because there is no excitement going on in the good tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, even on PulseX, PulseChain, and HEX. Now we can see, it's pop up a little like green candle for the 5 minutes, but still it's down. Those are down for the 24 hours. So we have Dawn here available today. So Dawn, what do you say about this type of situation in market? Where we can see, we are looking like every day the market is, sideways, or it's keep going down and down. Even Ethereum is like not performing very good. It's standing on like $2,000. It was used to be on more than like $3,000.
Well, yeah, and I agree with you that what matters in the cryptocurrency world is not so much the website, the protocol, the this, the that. What matters is the team that's behind the token. What matters is the community that's behind the token. Look at all the problems that PulseChain has had. It's not listed with, any of the major exchanges. Richard Hart, the founder of it, was attacked by the SEC, and yet, it's doing great. Um, Richard Hart owns a lot of the tokens, so it's not so much how widely the tokens are distributed. It's not so much the website. It's not so much, the technicality, the protocol. What matters is the community. What matters is you, me, Lon, Victor, the people in the community. What matters is, are the people in the community dedicated? Are they dedicated to helping that particular token average 2% a day or better? You can buy 100 different tokens and you're not going to have any effect. You can buy 50 different tokens, you're not going to have any effect. You can buy a brand new token and you don't know if it has a community. You can, you can you can be rest assured that Bitcoin has a community. It's not going to go to zero, right? So you could choose Bitcoin as your tribe token. You could join the Bitcoin green team. Ethereum, I don't know what's wrong with the Ethereum green team, but it's not averaging 2% a day. So what's the solution? What's the solution to the cryptocurrency game? The solution is to find yourself a tribe, a community, find yourself a green team that you like and that you want to support and that you want to believe in, and then when you see it turn red, the only thing you can do to help it is buy a little bit. If you can buy $10 worth, $100 worth, $800 worth, $8,000 worth. If you join a green team and buy $8,000 worth, and the green team that you join succeeds in averaging 2% a day. Obviously, some days it'll be up 10%, some days it'll be down 10%, 30%, whatever. It depends. It doesn't matter what happens yesterday, today, tomorrow. What matters is the community that's behind it. Is there a community that's dedicated to that particular token, that no matter what, they're going to help it try and achieve 2% a day? There's no guarantee of that. There's nobody knows for sure that you're going to succeed. You don't know for sure if your baseball team is going to win. You don't know for sure that your green team is going to win, but you have to pick, you got to pick a team and play the game. And the team that we have picked, obviously, is ETHTC, Ethereum compatible TC, Ethereum compatible trade credits. And that particular token, as you know, let's see, I'm in a different Chrome, what's the word, profile. So I don't have all
Browser.
yeah, I'm in a different Chrome browsers. I don't have all my tools here, but let me see if I can bring it up anyway. Let's see what it's deck screener. And so what we're doing here, folks, is creating a community, one person at a time, to support a particular token that we choose. What I was getting ready to say is if I put $8,000 into a token and it does average 2% a day for a year, $8,000 becomes $10 million portfolio. $8,000 can become $10 million. Well, hey, that's a game that I'm willing to play. That sounds pretty good to me. $800 can become $1 million if the green team that you choose to join can succeed in helping it average 2% a day. How is the ETHTC green team doing? Well, in the last 24 hours, one of the pairs is up 4%, 5%, and some of them are not up 2%. So I'm in a buying mood. I'm in a buying mode. If I can help these things get to 2% a day, if it takes $100, if it takes $500, whatever I can afford, I'm interested in changing my $800 to $1 million or my $8,000 to 10 million in portfolio. Let's say you put in $8,000 and it changes to 10 million over a year. That doesn't mean that you can take out 10 million all at once because there's not 10 million liquidity behind it. The price of it is not the liquidity. The price of it is the price. The price of it is supply and demand, and actually the price goes up better if there's not a lot of liquidity. The problem with not a lot of liquidity, even though it helps the price go up better, is that once you get your $1 million, you can't take it out all at once because there's not $1 million worth of liquidity there. That's just the price. But you can take out your profits, you know. You've got $1 million in there and it goes up an average of 2% a month. Not even doesn't even have to do 2% a day. If it goes up 2% a month, that's $20,000 a month increase that you could take out without crashing the price. Uh, so $800 can become $1 million and can be $20,000 a month, basically like an annuity. Well, that's pretty good. 800 into 20,000. You know what's even better than taking out $20,000 a month if you do get to $1 million in portfolio value? Switch the $20,000 a month over to tcbarter.com and spend it over there, and that doesn't affect the price at all. That doesn't crash the price, doesn't hurt the price at all, doesn't hurt your 2% gain at all. You can you can transfer your ETHTC into TC Barter at tcbarter.com, and it's not going to affect the price. How come I can't get signed in here? Sign in with Google, maybe? Oh, because I'm in a different profile. Oh, here we go. So here's a sample test account that we have. I can go over here and I can go and eat in all these different restaurants. There's 2 pages of restaurants. Some are national, some are local. I can go to look at all this. Uber Eats can bring me food to my office. I can go to Soup Kitchen, Sugar House Coffee, nationwide across the USA. I can go to Subway sandwich shops. I don't spend the TC there directly. What I do is I go to tcbarter.com and buy one of their gift cards. Their gift cards are, let's say, $50 each. So you pay 50 TCs and get a $50 gift card, which you can use up gradually as you eat at Subway at any place across the nation. There's IHOP restaurants. There's those are national. We talked about Uber Eats. What's the other one? DoorDash. That's in here. And so you got $20,000 a month that you can spend on restaurants, vacations. There's a car in here you can buy. Or maybe you take half of it in cash and half of it in tcbarter.com. But whatever amount you can transfer to TC Barter or spend directly. Some of these ads in tcbarter.com, you can spend crypto directly. What did I do? I did something wrong. And if they have listed in their ad that they'll take cryptocurrency, you can spend the TC there directly. And that's also not selling it. It's also not affecting the price. The only thing that affects the price is if you go to a decentralized exchange and you sell it and you go get Ethereum or USDC and go put it in your bank and, cash it out. Well, that's hurting the value of your $1 million portfolio if you do that. But if you spend it with another participant that likes ETHTC, or if you transfer it at tcbarter.com and go spend it there, that's not selling. It's not going to affect the price. It's not going to affect your 2% a day, increase. And there's lots of stuff in here. There's 2,500 participants that are advertising here, what they have and what they want. And as you know, or I hope at tcbarter.com, there's different ways of doing business. You can down here, they're listed down here at the bottom. You can pay with TC Barter credits, the actual TCs, or you can do a direct trade your car for a boat, trade lawn mowing to get your teeth fixed, whatever. Or you can trade the cryptocurrency directly. If you trade the cryptocurrency, obviously you're going to be paying the gas fees of the blockchain. If you trade your cryptocurrency over to TCs at TC Barter, there's no more gas fees. There's no fees at tcbarter.com. You can enroll for free. You can refer a friend and they enroll for free. And by the way, if you refer a friend and they use your referral link, either your QR code or this link that you can get here, by clicking on the menu at the left where it says invite a friend. You join free, they join free, and yet you get 10 TCs when they put in a complete listing. If they put in their selfie or a product, a picture of their product and their phone number, their email, you automatically get 10 TCs for, helping to enroll them. So for me, the concept is, yes, I like cryptocurrency. Yes, I can afford to buy a little bit. Uh, let's see, is this the account that I want to use today? So this one, let's see, we can put in, let's see how much we put in here. How about we put in $492 worth of Pulse into ETHTC? And by the way, I like pDai.io, even though you sometimes get a little bit less tokens by buying them at piteous.io. I like it because it seems to me that there's a lot less robot activity, and I prefer that to be able to buy without robots competing with me. So when you set your settings, um, if you set them too high, there can be people that can run in and buy ahead of you and, cost you part of your profit. So I like the fact that Piteous seems to protect me against that. So let's say we go 492, 476. How's our green team doing? See, these are red over here, so I'm in a buying mode, and this one isn't 2% yet. So let me go see if I can help that. And of course, if I put in $492, that's, if I leave it for a year and if the green team succeeds, there's no guarantee of that, but if we succeed as a green team, that $492 multiplied by 1,300 within a year. That's the rate that 2% a day compounds and ends up. I don't think you can see my calculator, but if I multiply this 492 that I'm putting in today times 1,300, if it averages 2% a day for a year, that 492 becomes over $600,000. 492 can become $600,000 portfolio. Remember, that doesn't mean I can take out 600,000, but it means I can take out the profits of that happen every day, every month. Or I can transfer it over to TCBarter, and that won't hurt anything. I can transfer the entire 600,000 over to TCBarter, and that doesn't affect the price. It doesn't, cause a dump. It doesn't cause a price decrease in the 2%. But of course, then I got to figure out what I'm going to spend it on over at TCBarter. I better have something in mind, a house or a car or a boat or something. But so let's try this. So 492, and let's see if we can help our 2% a day. The only reason I choose 492 is I like to use these weird numbers that pop up when I hit, max of what I've got available. And I don't know if you can see it, but I use the Rabby wallet. Transactions submitted. And sometimes it doesn't show up on Deck Screener right away. It takes a little bit. And I've also noticed it's also best if you do 2 transactions if you want it to show up and help the 2% a day. So after I do this one, it says transaction submitted. How come it doesn't say that it's done? Maybe it's done. I don't know. Let's see. Transactions. Swap. Yeah, it looks like it's done. Oh, that was fast. Okay.
And it's up like 2% for the 5 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. See, we did that. $492 made our goal for the day of 2% a day. Boom. And the reason that all of these are up is that Piteous does that for you. It shops around and it finds all the, like if I put in, let's put in another really small transaction here. Because like I said, I like to have 2 of them. This one will be, here, we'll put in a $5 transaction. Pulse to ETHTC. But what I wanted to show you is it'll shop around and find you the best deal. If you point to this show route, this one's such a small transaction, but it goes from Pulse, which is what I'm spending, and it goes to Solid X, which I've hardly even heard of, and then it goes from Solid X to the incentive token, and then from the incentive token to ETHTC. And the reason it's hopping around like that is to find me the best deal, find me the most tokens that it can. And if I click swap, then this should also help a little bit because for some reason Dex Screener likes 2 transactions instead of 1. So I usually do a big one and also a little one, and it seems to help the 2% better. But I mean, just think if we build a community and there's 10 people doing what I just did, my goodness, uh, ETHTC is going to have a real hard time staying red, right? And if it has a real hard time staying red, that means that your $800 or whatever you've got in there is hitting its 2% a day. And if we keep that up for a year, that's $1 million portfolio value. And if it only grows 2% a month at that point, that's $20,000 a month that you can either transfer over to TCBarter and spend, or go ahead and sell it if you want, and go ahead and put it in your bank if you want. But that's $20,000 a month. And it came from what? $800? $800? What's the, let's see, I don't have the link on this particular profile. What's the link? Put the link, Harris, for the chart. I guess I can go to Drive and look it up. Let's see. I don't have this profile set up. Give me the link to the chart, Harris, the 2% chart.
Yeah, it's in the chat box.
The chat.
Zoom.
Let's see.
Yep.
Or just share your screen and go to it. That'll be easier because I'm on a separate profile because I'm using a demonstration wallet. It's not my main wallet to show trades on the air. So I'll stop sharing because I don't have all the tools set up for that particular profile.
All right.
But yeah, here we go. Here's the chart. So I mean, we've gone over this and over this, but it's because it's so important. What if I put in a couple $1,000? What $2,000 there? What happens? Now, all of this depends on us building a community that helps to do what I just did, right? $2,000 can become $2.7 million after a year if we build a community, and if that community does their little bit of help every day, every week, every month, whatever they can afford to help it average 2% a day. You look down the slide down that page, Harris, and each one of these is a day that if it does average 2% a day up through that number of days, that's what happens to your $2,000. It doesn't grow very fast at first, but go down to about day 300 or so and see how it's going. Day 300 is, 9-10 months from now. Look, it's $760,000 and keep on going. That $2,000. So I say that this is a project worth my time, worth my faith, my choice to join and support. That's what we're doing. And we're doing two things. We're building a 2% a day average goal green team. It's not guaranteed, it's our goal. 2% average every day. Well, we've been kind of doing that. We had one person that sold a whole bunch, and 24 hours later the price was right back where it started because of the green team. Thank you very much, everybody. So what are we doing here? Talk to people about the green team. Talk to people about this show. It's every day at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, and they can email us if they want to be on the show and tell us about their business. Part of what we would like to do is, if you own a restaurant, we'd like to have you on the show. Tell us about your restaurant. If you're a dentist, we'd like to have you on the show. Tell us about your dental practice and tell us whether or not you're willing to accept ETHTC, or are you willing to accept TCBarter, or are you willing to accept direct trades? Let somebody come and paint your office, you'll fix their teeth, or let us know what's on your mind. All of us have an unlimited wealth if you just put your time to work instead of wasting it. I mean, we all have, every day we get another whole batch of time. Every day, a whole new fresh set of time. So the asset of your life, the asset of my life, the asset of our life is our time. What are we going to spend our time at? We're going to go out and buy all the crazy new tokens and lose our money in 45 days? Or are we going to join a green team and work together as a team, be a baseball team, be a cryptocurrency green team, and work together and win? That's what I say. Pick your green team, stick to it, and see what $800 can do in a year. See what $8,000 can do in a year. $8,000 on a green team that succeeds at 2% a day average becomes $10 million. $8 grand I mean, if you can scrape up 8 grand somewhere and support the green team, and you don't have to put in all at once, you can just put in $100 a day, or just gradually get to 8 grand in there, or 800 in there, whatever it is you can afford, and support the green team. So the mandate is, let's find people that have time going to waste. Let's help them learn about the green team. Let's help them learn that they can trade their skills, their professional skills, and get paid with TCs if they want. Instead of watching TV, they could do another house painting job, and we can bring them a house painting job, and they can get paid with TCs, and they can go spend those TCs and get their teeth fixed. That's wealth. That's putting their time to work. All we have available to produce wealth is our time. That's the only asset any of us have. What are you born with? Time. That's all you got. So what we do with our time is what's going to determine how much good we can do for the world. How much can you donate to charity? How much can you help your neighbor? How much can you how much you're going to have to help your kids? How much you're going to have to help your posterity? It's all what happens with our time, right? So for me personally, my time is partially the green team. My time is partially learning about barter. What I have to barter is soil amendments from our mines that makes your garden grow better. And I'll trade you some if you fix my teeth. I'll trade you some if you trade me, something. Trade me TC barter. Trade me something. And you yourself have professional skills. You yourself have something extra that you're not using. Maybe it's a cement mixer sitting out in your backyard. Maybe it's a boat you don't use anymore. You can advertise it for free at tcbarter.com. Show us all those websites, Harris. Go to the deck screener where the list of websites are, or even at TC Barter, we just go to recommended and show all the other websites where they can advertise. It's not just tcbarter.com. There's a half a dozen other websites. I think you go to recommended, right? Yeah,
Yep.
there. Look at this. TC Trade Market is another website where you can advertise with your TCs. Real TC, that's for real estate. Trade advertising, buy and sell advertising with TCs. TC directory. Here's a directory that you can join. Here's cell phones. Buy and sell cell phones with TCs. TC Trade Mart, Facebook. There's a Telegram group. There's a Twitter group. Join us. Put some of your time to work. And when I say join us, obviously the people that are here already are involved. But this is going to be on YouTube, and or it is on YouTube right now, I guess. And so we encourage you. What are you going to do with your time today? You got 24 hours. You're going to use up 8 hours sleeping, I hope. You got 8 hours, you got to work your job, I hope. That leaves another 8 hours left over. You got 3 8-hour chunks in a 24-hour time period. One for sleeping, one for working, and one for becoming wealthy. So what are you going to do with that extra 8 hours you have to become wealthy? Why do you want to become wealthy? Because you can help a lot of people if you're wealthy. You can help your family, you can help other people. Yeah. If you're not wealthy, you can't do a lot. I mean, the people that are doing a lot are the people that are wealthy. How'd they get wealthy? Well, that extra 8 hours, they didn't waste it. And so what can you do in those 8 hours? Well, you can tell people about the green team. You can tell people about TC Barter. You can go paint a dentist's house and get your teeth fixed. You can buy and sell cars. You can, do something, right? And the place that you can do it is on all these websites. All these websites, the standard, smaller ads, the standard listing type ads are all free. You don't have to pay a dang thing. You can go to tcbarter.com, put in your listing of who you are, what you have, what you want. You can go to the market section, put in put in a picture of what you got for sale. So that's my plea to you to join us, join the green team, help the world by helping people put their wasted time and assets to work. That's it for me.
Yep, I think we have covered everything, the bartering and also the crypto in a very great way today. So let's wrap up the show. So thank you so much for watching, guys, on YouTube. Please do subscribe and share video with your friends and family members. We will talk to you tomorrow at the same time. Have a great
8
day.
a.m. 8 a.m. Mountain Time every day. including weekends and holidays. We're here. Thanks, Harris. Yes, welcome to the Green Team YouTube show, where we talk about crypto and we talk about how we can spend that crypto on useful things. Let me share my screen. There you go. So let's check out what's happening with the big boys. Big Bitcoin, Ethereum, down for the week, but starting up again. To me, that says that maybe we've reached the bottom. If it's starting up again and it's not going down anymore, maybe it's not going to go down some more. When I see that it's red all the way across, to me that says wait, because it's still going down. When I see that it's red for the week and yet it's going up, maybe this is bargain territory. Maybe it's going to keep going up. But what token am I going to buy? There's only like 30,000 choices. So how do I choose which one to buy? Well, I'll tell you what I am looking for. I'm looking for one that doesn't have so much liquidity. When you look at the liquidity of Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's huge. I can't make a very big dent in that with my little bit of purchasing. I want one where I can help it go up by doing a little bit of purchasing. So I probably have to go over and look at some of the smaller ones. Maybe over on Dex Screener, check out Ethereum list on Dex Screener. These are some smaller ones with smaller liquidity. But which one of these am I going to pick? Well, I'll tell you what this show's all about. This show's all about creating a team, a tribe that concentrates on one particular token. We pick out one particular token that we all concentrate on, and that's why it's called the green team. When we see it red, we try and buy a little bit so that it goes back to green. In fact, we'd like to see our particular tribe token go up an average of 2% a day. If it does, let's say I've got $100 in there, about $100 worth of our tribe token. The tribe token we picked is called ETHTC on the PulseChain network, and I'll explain why. First of all, if I put $100 into it and it goes up an average of 2% a day because of the team checking on it, and when it's red, we each buy a little based on what we can afford. That $100 after 37 days doubles in that case. If it averages 2% a day increase, whatever I put in will double every 37 days. 37 days later, it doubles again if we stay on our goal of an average of 2% a day increase. That's interesting. What if I eventually get $800 in there and that averages 2% a day increase for a year? Whoa, $1 million portfolio value. $800 can turn into $1 million if I join a green team, and if that green team is successful in helping that token go up an average of 2% a day by buying a little when we can afford it, not with our rent money, not with our savings, not with the money that we should be investing in real estate, not with the money that we need to pay our taxes or pay our mortgage, just our fun money. This is a fun game. Let's see what we can do. $800, 2% a day for a year, $1 million portfolio value. Well, now that's interesting to me. So why are we choosing the ETHTC token? Well, if we go to Dextriner and click the search box and type in ETHTC, we see that there's lots of different ways to buy it, lots of different things that you can buy it with. That's nice. It's got limited liquidity. That's nice. Why is limited liquidity? Why is small liquidity good? Because a rock thrown into the ocean makes no difference if there's a giant amount of liquidity, but a rock thrown into a mud puddle makes a big difference. It's a lot easier when the liquidities don't look only 17,000, 11,000, 1,000, 1,000. It's a lot easier to help it go up when the liquidity is small. If this was $3 million or $20 million, my little purchase wouldn't make a bit of difference. So what else is good about ETHTC besides limited liquidity, besides low price? Look, for 34 cents, you get 1,000,000 of them. Wow. That's pretty cheap. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, also for a cheap price to go up easier than it does for something that costs $80,000 for one. This one costs 34 cents for 1,000,000 of them. Do I have that right? I'm going to put in 1,000,000 down here and see if I'm right. Is that really 34 cents? Am I doing my math right? Where is it on Deck Screener? It lets you put in the quantity right here. So we're going to put in 1,000,000 of them. Oh, it's $3. Sorry. It's not 34 cents. It's $3.44 for 1,000,000 of them. I had my math wrong. I had my decimal point wrong. $3.44 for 1,000,000 of them. Well, that's a lot easier to pay $3.44 for 1,000,000 of them than it is to pay $80,000 for one of them, right? And not only that, the liquidity is limited. So if I make a purchase, it's going to help the price a lot more than if there's a giant amount of liquidity. So how am I going to do that? Well, I've got to start out at either Coinbase or Kraken or a centralized exchange and get some money into the crypto world. And once I do that, I can go over to metamask.io and transfer some into MetaMask, which is a wallet, as you know. metamask.io. And the nice thing about metamask.io is that you can also put in your debit card and just buy some cryptocurrency right there in the wallet. And the one that is one of the choices to buy that works well is Ethereum. So if you buy some Ethereum on Coinbase or Kraken or within the MetaMask wallet, now you've got some Ethereum. I happen to choose the Rabby wallet, which is similar to MetaMask. I just like it better, but same idea. Transfer some Ethereum or buy some Ethereum in your MetaMask wallet, and if you really like it, you can then transfer it over to the where you can just open up a Rabby wallet. It's the same information. The MetaMask or the Rabby would be looking at the same information. This is just a demonstration account that I have set up here that we can do some buying with if you wish. So let's go make a watch list on on Deck Screener, and I've got that set up already. You click over here on watch list. When you look at these tokens that you like, you just go over here and hit the star where it says watch list, and you can gather up the ones that you like. Here's the ones that I like to use for the green team. As you can see, the green team has got it going up 7% in the last 6 hours. In the last 24 hours, it's not quite up 2% yet. So I'd like to help that. But, we wait a little while. This 6 hour will roll over the 24 hours anyway. So $3.47 for 1,000,000. That's pretty cheap. That's interesting. What if I put in $100? Let's see, $100. And by the way, if you want to get access to this chart, there's a short URL in the description on this channel. And you can get this chart and put in your number and see what'll happen. $100 after a year, if it averages 2% per day compound interest, it's $135,000 portfolio value out of $100. I could take out, let's say, 2% of that a month and spend $2,700 out of that 135,000 without even touching my principal. For me, it's a lot smarter to spend it rather than to sell it. If I sell it, that causes the price to go down on all the rest of the tokens that I didn't sell. But if I spend it, if I find a way to spend it, then it's just transferring from my account to the seller's account. That's not a sale. It's not going to affect the price. Well, where am I going to spend it? If I go look here at Deck Screener and pull up one of these particular tokens, let's see. If I go down here and read the description, here is, oh, look, a whole bunch of websites where I can spend my ETHTC. I can go here so that once my $100 turns into $135,000, I have the choice. I could sell it and cause the price of my tokens, the rest of the ones that I didn't sell, to go down, which means if I take out $500, it's probably going to make my portfolio go down a lot more than $500 because you multiply that times the total tokens you have, goes down 5%. 5% of 135,000 is a lot. What if I could just spend a couple percent of it a month instead of selling? Now it's not going to drive the price down. If I have $100 that turns into 135,000 portfolio value, and I take out 2% of that a month. Remember, the goal is to go up 2% a day. But if I only take out 2% a month, that's $2,700 a month I can spend that only cost me $100 in the first place if the green team achieves its goal. Well, what can I get for it? Well, I can go to any of these websites. I'll show you where to get this list of websites. It's right here. Directory links right here. ETHTC directory links. These are various websites where you can spend your ETHTC instead of selling it. Here's one, TCBarter.com. I can go over here and sign in. I can click over here on restaurants, and here's a whole list of restaurants where I can go eat my $100 worth, except for I get $2,700 a month if the green team achieves its goal. That's kind of interesting to me. Look, I can go to DoorDash, I can call DoorDash and have food delivered to my home or my office. I can buy food for the whole office, $2,700 a month. And I still haven't touched my 135,000 value that I got with $100 a year ago, if you see what I mean. If the green team's successful. Look, IHOP nationwide. I can get gift cards and go spend them at IHOP. Subway sandwiches nationwide. There's Cinemark movies, buy snacks, drinks, pay for the movie, go bowling, Top Golf gameplay. Or I can go into the market and I can search for a car maybe. Here, look at this. Acura, 2007 Acura, $8,995. It says TC. Well, what's TC? There's three different ways to spend at TCBarter.com. One of them is with your ETHTC or any other cryptocurrency. One of them is to trade your cryptocurrency and get TC, which is off the blockchain, which means there's no gas fees, which means it's more private than blockchain public trading. So if you want something more private that doesn't have any blockchain fees, that doesn't have any gas fees, no membership fee, no advertising fee, there's no fees here at TCBarter.com. So how do I get TC so that I can buy this car? Well, here's what I can do. I could buy it with my ETHTC or other cryptocurrency at the current value, or I can place an ad and just earn some. The ads are free. I can advertise that I do auto repairs or I do tree trimming or I do roofing, and I could earn some TC. Or I can put my products and gift certificates and pledges on consignment in the TC store and earn some. Or I can earn some by referring friends to this game. You get a unique referral link over here. Invite a friend, show them your QR code, or copy this link and text it to them or email it to them. Each one of your friends that enroll for a free ad, you got an ad free, they get an ad free, but you get 10 TCs every friend that you refer that puts in a verified complete listing with a complete email, etc. So that's how I can build up my TCs. Refer a friend, buy some with cryptocurrency, earn some by doing auto repairs or roofing or dental work, whatever I do. Or look, here at TCBarter.com, I can even do a direct trade. I don't need any TCs or crypto at all. I can just trade my boat for a car. And there's no charge to advertise here. That's interesting. So back to why we choose ETHTC. Why? Because it has low liquidity. It's easier to make the price go up. It has a green team. It has a green team who's helping to make it go up as they choose. The goal is 2% a day increase. It has a utility. I can spend it at these various websites. Very interesting. So how are we doing today? We can make a watch list over here at Deck Screener. I've got several of the choices of ETHTC on here. These are all the same token. It's just different things you can buy it with. But an easier way to do it is to just do it at, let's say, Pidius.io, where it shops around for you and finds the best deal. So how do I do this? Well, remember, I got some Ethereum in my MetaMask wallet because I bought some at Coinbase or Kraken, or maybe I bought it directly in the MetaMask wallet. Now I have some Ethereum on Ethereum. Well, wait a minute, that's not on PulseChain. I need to be on PulseChain. So what I do next is I go to PulseChain.com, and here at PulseChain.com, I can copy this RPC information into my MetaMask so that now I can see both the MetaMask network and the PulseChain network, or I can do that in the Ravi wallet. So once I have this information copied in there and I have PulseChain appearing in my MetaMask wallet, then I can go to this right here where it says bridge, and I click bridge and hit this white button. And Remember, I have Ethereum that I have in my MetaMask wallet on the Ethereum network. So I hit max and then I cut it back by 10% because you got to leave some Ethereum in your MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet you're using to pay for gas. So whatever you have in Ethereum, don't transfer more than about 90% of it over to PulseChain. Here's the network I'm transferring it to. There's no charge to do this. I connect wallet, I hit send. It takes about a half an hour. And then that Ethereum that's on the Ethereum network will now be Ethereum from Ethereum riding on the PulseChain network. Once it gets to PulseChain, it's called Ethereum from Ethereum riding on PulseChain. And now instead of ETH, it's called WETH. Once I have some WETH, then I can go to a decentralized exchange such as pDai, and I've got to go get the ETHTC contract address. I can either get that off this tracking sheet, and it's right here, or I can go to DEX Screener and pick anything that's got ETHTC with it as a pair and go down and see where it says pair. Don't get that one. Get the one right below it that says ETHTC. Make sure you get the one that ends in number 7 Alpha Charlie 8. That's 7AC8 because that's the one that the green team is supporting. So if I copy that right in there and I go over to pDai and I put it in here as what I'm trying to buy, because pDai doesn't know about ETHTC because there's 30,000 choices or more. It doesn't have all those in there until you tell it which one you want to deal with. So I'm going to change this to wrapped Ethereum, which means it's Ethereum from Ethereum riding on the PulseChain network. And you can see I have some in this wallet. It's got 0.4 in there. And so what I can do is 0.05. That'd be $91 worth. Okay, let's do $91 worth. And this pDai is shopping around among those different pairs, finding the best deal for me. You can see it's going to break it up into 3 options or 3 different routes. Some of it's going to go to Pulse, and from that to ETHTC. Some of it's going to go to Bitcoin, and from that to ETHTC. It's wrapped Bitcoin, of course. It's Bitcoin from Ethereum riding on the PulseChain network. That's what WBTC is. But it's doing all this work for me. And so I'm just going to click. Oh, I waited too long. Now it's got to go check the current price again. So it says fetching in progress. So what I'm trying to do is get some ETHTC because I want to be on the ETHTC green team. It's a token with utility. It's got a green team. It's got a group of people trying to help it go up, and it's got limited liquidity, so it's easier to make it go up. So let's go in here and confirm that. I'm going to give this a custom gas price so that I know I'm going to get it nice and fast. So instead of paying a penny or two, I'm willing to pay 13 cents to get it to go through faster. I don't want somebody to see what I'm buying in the blockchain and try and buy it ahead of me and sell it to me for a little more. In other words, I don't want somebody to front run me. So I put the gas fee kind of high, 17 cents instead of a penny. Or that gas fee will fluctuate depending on how busy the network is, of course. You don't have to change that, but I like to. And look up here, I've got it set at 1% slippage. I could change that to 0.5%. Let me wait for this one's done, and I'll change that to 0.5%. The 1% slippage is just allowing the price to increase a little bit to make sure that you get your trade through. So let's change this to 0.5%, 0.5%. Okay, so we got our slippage at 0.5%. You change that right here. And we've got the gas fee set high so that it goes through quick and easy. So then if we go to DEX Screener, eventually we'll see that in this 5-minute area, oh, there it is right there already. That's the purchase that we just made. And you can see that it broke it up 3 or 4 different ways of getting it. But just $100, what was that, $91 or something? Helps. Every little bit helps. Why? Because it's a fairly small liquidity pool. I'm just thinking about this. Okay, so let's go see. We put in about $91. What's the possibilities of what's going to happen with that $91? I don't remember if it was 91. It was roughly something like that. Well, if that green team that I'm on is successful, that $91 in a year could be over $100,000 in portfolio value from that $91 that we just bought. Isn't that crazy? Wow. So when there is over $100,000 in portfolio value, for me, the smart thing to do is to not sell it, not create a red candle, not create, if I have 10,000 in here, for example, and I sell $500 worth, you'd think I'd have 9,500 left, but selling $500 worth makes the other $9,500 worth that I didn't sell go down in value. So now it's not worth 9,500. So by selling 500, instead of my portfolio being worth 9,500 now, it might be worth 9,200 or 9,000. So if I can keep from selling it when I'm ready to cash out, but instead cash out by spending it on things that I would have paid cash for, but instead I'm spending my crypto that only cost me 91 bucks. And yeah, I've got $100,000 worth. Heck, I can spend $2,000 a month without affecting this balance, without affecting the green team, without causing a red candle, without causing the rest of my portfolio to go down because I'm selling. Anytime I can spend instead of selling, I'm better off, in my opinion. So where do I go to spend? I go to tcbarter.com, or I go to Deck Screener and look at some of these other options. I click on this one right here, go down here and find some other websites where I can spend it. There's real estate. Here's a directory. Here's tctrademark.com. See what we got here. 2,500 people advertising what they have and what they want. And let's see, do any of them want TC or ETHTC? If they want TC, I can get that by trading my ETHTC at the TC barter store and I can trade my ETHTC at the barter store and get TC. Or I can trade my ETHTC and get restaurant gift cards or maybe a car or whatever. So here's 2,500 people advertising for free, and a lot of them want TC or ETHTC. Again, the TC is off the blockchain, and so it's more private. And also the price isn't fluctuating. It trades a buck. So if I've got $100,000 worth and I want to prevent it from going up, down, and all around, I can trade that $100,000 worth of ETHTC or any part of it. I can trade $10,000 worth over to TC. And once it's TC, that stops the price fluctuation. These people trade the TC at a buck. It's more stable, and there's no gas fee and there's no advertising fee. So I can take some of my ETHTC and stop the price from moving around, move it into the private world off the blockchain, and spend it as I see fit with these people. And these people accept it at a dollar value. The ETHTC goes up and down. The TC doesn't. It's traded at a dollar's value. So that's a good reason that I might want to trade some of my ETHTC and get TC. So to review, we start out by looking to see that Bitcoin and Ethereum and the big boys are starting to move up. We then go to Deck Screener and look at the PulseChain network, because that's the one that we use for the green team. And we see that, look, there's a lot of green here, so things are starting to move up. So the sentiment in the marketplace today is positive. And yet yesterday or last night, maybe things went down a little. So for me, that says it's a good time to buy for me, because things are starting to move up, and yet they're down a little bit from yesterday. So we're in bargain territory, cheap price, things moving up. To me, that says, okay, I'm ready to move. So we did $91 a minute ago. Let's try another $91 worth. Oh, let's go a little more. Let's go 109. So that way we've got basically $200 worth in here today, and we'll go see what $200 can turn into. So we'll click swap, and we sign the transaction in either MetaMask or Rabby, whichever one you're using. Transaction success. Okay, so then this 5-minute column again is going to show up, our trade pretty soon. You got to wait a little while sometimes. Let me refresh it. Takes a few minutes for it to notice it sometimes. Anyway, that pretty soon there'll be some green over here in this 5-minute column, because we just bought some. So that's the concept of the green team. Pick a token that you like, that has utility, that has limited liquidity, that has a green team. So for me, that's ETHTC. So we do this show about 8 o'clock Mountain Time every day. And if you have a business and you'd like to earn some TC or ETHTC, we'll invite you on the show to come in and talk about your business, whether it's a restaurant or whether you sell cars or you do auto repairs, whatever. Let's go look at this market, see what some of the people are advertising. So let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see more. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in here. Park City, here's a bakery. Here's a restaurant that's also in Park City, Utah. If I go down here to people, this is fun because it's free. And this is where I can spend my $100 that turned into $100,000 after a year if the green team is successful. This website has English, French, and Spanish. That's nice. I can click country and sort them by country here. Let me see. How can I get, here's some in the United States. Here's Lon Scow. He's here on the show. He's got a whole list of stuff that he's offering. Lon, if you want to speak up, if you're available and tell us about some of these things that you're offering for TC, that'd be good. What he's looking for is TC or direct trades or ETHTC or make offers, or he's looking for cars, trucks, classic vehicles, real estate. So that's an example. And this ad is completely free. Here's a lady that's offering party bus rentals, chauffeur services, and she needs a mechanic and electrical and bookkeeping and tires and air conditioning work. Here's a mental health literacy course. He wants TCs. Here's a guy that does loans. He'll take TCs for the origination fee. Here's a guy that does apps and websites and media production, restaurant gift cards. Here's CPA taxes and accounting services. You mean for $100, if I wait a year and if the green team is successful, that $100 can get me $100,000 worth of accounting CPA services or some restaurant gift cards. Wow, wow, wow. So you can see what we're doing here. We're concentrating as a tribe, as a group, as a green team on one particular token. The one we choose is ETHTC. We invite you to come back. We're here every day about 8 o'clock Mountain Time. We're here nearly every day at about 8 o'clock Mountain Time. And we invite you to come on the show and tell us about your business. To do that, just look in the description of the channel and you'll get the business email address to email us and say, hey, I'd like to be involved. So here's the list of where you can shop. Here's the PDS where you can buy, sell on a decentralized exchange. I wonder if CowSwap would let us. I've never tried CowSwap. See if it'll let us buy, sell, trade, or excuse me, let us buy ETHTC. I've never tried it. I don't know if it only supports Ethereum or does it support PulseChain also? Let's see. Doesn't have PulseChain on the list. Maybe it'll find it automatically if I just connect my wallet. Let's see what happens. This is something new for me to try. Connect. It still says Ethereum. It could be that it'll only accept the Ethereum part of the Etherscan. I wonder if it lets me add PulseChain. I haven't tried this before. I guess I can only do Ethereum on CowSwap. I'm going to go research that and see if there's a way to use CowSwap. The reason I'm curious about CowSwap is that I think it helps prevent the front running a little more than Pidius, but I'm not sure. We'll go research that. Come back tomorrow. We'll see. All right. Well, thank you for coming. We'll talk to you tomorrow around 8 a.m. Mountain Time, nearly every day here at tctrademart.com. The YouTube channel, you spell out DOTCOM, Trademart DOTCOM. If you go to the website, obviously, it's just the punta, the dot, tctrademart.com. Talk to you soon. Thank you for coming.